Hey everybody, it's me, Tina. Back with some more Bathroom Chronicles. Been a little while, but I thought it's time to come back and touch base with everybody. We're in mid-September now, toward the end of September. It's the first day of fall, actually, and things are still going on here, uh, everywhere. Really, with this whole pandemic, it's not changed. Much has changed since we last talked, except the last time I was on here, we talked about safety, hand washing. We talked about all that kind of stuff because it was kind of like new for us. We're like trying to get it, trying to figure it out, trying to stay safe. And now we kind of old hats at it. We know the basics. We know how to wash our hands. I gave some live demos on how to do that. With the whole thing about, make sure that you're getting in between the fingers and make sure you're getting the thumbs and don't forget these nails, just do, it's all those little things. And also just reiterating uh, or re-emphasizing the point about wear those masks. I'm just amazed at the controversy over mask wearing. Is this something that you have to be told to do to save your life? And I know that they got the teams at the camps. You got the mask wearers and the I'm not gonna wear maskers. And each camp has their own valid arguments, but I err on the side of common sense. You can have a camp that says I'm about this or I'm not about something, but if it don't make sense, it just don't make sense. And so I'm kind of a common sense person. If I gotta see some kind of value and some kind of merit in what we're doing. If what you're talking about don't have any merit or value, I'm done. I can't relate. And I've always been that way. I'm just not interested in um, just irrelevance. I'm not interested in things that don't matter, don't mean much. I'm not interested in rhetoric. I'm just not. I think I don't think I've ever been, but I think as I get older, it's even less appealing to me. I'm not interested in what the sayers, the naysayers and the whoop whoop wop wops. I could care less what you're saying because you could be talking loud, and saying nothing. I've experienced that so many times, saying nothing. Just because the biggest and the fastest talker don't always be talking about nothing. Sometimes it's that low voice, that whisper, that quiet storm that you better keep your eye on. And you better try to pay attention and incline your ear to hear the message that's coming. Because sometimes, that loudness, you can't even hear the message. There is no message. Usually there's no message. The old saying, where there's smoke, there's fire. I don't know. There's a whole lot of talk. Don't necessarily mean there's a message, but there's a truth. And I think that can be apparent when you hear a lot of preaching, and they're loud and then when they're done with it, it's like, okay, what did they say? What did I get out of that? What did I learn from that? What is the benefit of that I just sat through or heard, or whether it was a talk or a sermon or a movie or a book or a conversation? What did I get out of it? What did it benefit me to spend the time to really listen or pay attention to what I was doing or what I was involving myself in? What did it benefit me? What was the point of it? And if I can't answer that, if I really can't see what I got out of it, then that's a waste. It's called a waste of time. It's time I could have been pursuing something else. It's a time I could have been just relaxing in my own self, in what I know, who I am and what I am. You know, um, so be careful how you spend your time and what you focus on your time on, because you are directly a reflection of what you think, and what you think determines how you act. Isn't that interesting? We act on what we think. If that doesn't mean you have to act on what you think, but most likely people do. Because I think that a thought is just a thought. It's an idea. It's a thought. It's just that, as long as it's contained here. It's only when you put it into action and you make that thought become fertile, and then you give it some life, and then it becomes an action, and then that action is where the consequences come in. For every action, there's a consequence, whether it's a good or a bad consequence. There's a consequence to what I choose. So that's another thing, too, to think about. Be careful what you're choosing. who you're choosing and when you're choosing. Just look at what your choices are, and really know what your choices are. I think sometimes we just don't even know we have choices. Sometimes I think that we kind of have a tendency to just go along, like the old saying, go with the flow. And sometimes the flow, that's like if a toilet bowl flush, you go with the flow, it's flushing right on down. You can go with it if you want to, but you better know where the flow is going before you go with the flow. This is my thought on it, because I've always been an inquisitive mind, and I always wanted to know what was the next step and why. I was one of them people, why, how come, and I always question, like, where'd you get your information from? I never just took things at face value. You could never just tell me something and say, and that's the truth. And I was like, really? Where'd you get your information from? Can I look at it? Can I go back and see where you found it at? That's one reason I love the truth. That's why I'm in the truth, because it helps me, to open up my heart, my mind, and find out for myself. And I'm that person. I'm sorry. I can't just sit there and let you just tell me something. I got a reason for it myself. I got to see it. I got to study it. I got to, and what do you call it? Ingest it. I got to get it down in here, and then I got to process it, And I want to say something about processing. I think that this world we move in is so fast. It's so fast. We got things that can go within milliseconds. It can be one from one country to another. I can be talking to somebody over in Europe in a matter of seconds. I can, I can hit a text message and hit send, and you got it right away. I can get on FaceTime with you, and boom, we right here together. We move so fast. And sometimes I think when we move too fast, and nothing wrong with technology. Don't get me wrong. Now, I love technology. I think it's great. I think there's nothing wrong with that. But I think that sometimes when we move too fast, what tends to happen is we don't get to process what's going on. Now, what I mean by that, you got to process everything. You can't just let things come at you. You got to be able to process it. What does this mean? What's the meaning of it? What's the point in it? How does it work? What am I getting to? What am I getting to? And do I want to get to that? Is that something I want to be involved in? Is that something I'm interested in? Is that something I want to know? Sometimes I don't need to know everything. Some of it ain't my business. Just because someone's not telling you or including you don't mean you're missing anything. It's just not your business. That's their stuff. So it's something to think about processing, And I think I would just say to anybody, take the time out to process information. Don't just stand on what somebody said or what somebody did. Look into it. Check it out. See for yourself. If you have the mind and the means, look it up. Find out. Really? Is that what happened? How did that happen? When did that happen? Who did that happen to? Why did that happen? Could that happen to me? Those are the kind of questions you get to ask yourself and ask other people around there. How did you do that? What made you do that? What was your motivation for doing that? Wow, did it benefit you? Are you happy you did it? Or is there any regret behind your decision? Just maybe, talking to people about their choices in life. We all make choices and we all make mistakes. Now, and I don't think nobody's walking on water around here. Nobody's saying we're all fall short because we're imperfectly made. And that part I truly understand because, it's a war always going on whether to do right or to do wrong. It's like that one side say this is the way to go. The other side say that's the way to go. And I got to stay centered. I have to stay centered. I have to keep my feet on the ground. I have to stand straight because I cannot afford to be swayed by every wind and every inclination and every philosophy and everybody's idea about life. I better know what's for me. I need to know where I'm going. I need to know what I need. I need to know what benefits me and what's not for me. See, that's the other thing. Everything ain't for you. Everything ain't for you. These are just some life lessons I learned. I just had a reached a milestone, another year of life, and every time I do, I think I get to reflect back. I get to think about where I've been and where I've come from, all my experiences and where they've led to up to this point. What do I know now? At this point in my life, I ought to know something. I ought to know something. If nothing else, not because I was so academically taught, which is nothing wrong with academics. You got to learn something. We all start out learning how to read, write, and arithmetic Then you got to learn a little bit more and how to calculate some things and how to put some things together and how to analyze things and how to figure things out. And that's how you get along in life. Learn how to do things and think things through. But you also, you got to know what you know. What have I learned? And the best lessons that I've learned, the most, well, not the best, but the ones that stick with me the most over the time is the ones that I've experienced, the lessons taught by life experience. I went through life thinking life on Tina's terms. I want it like this. This is the way I think I should be going. This is what I want to do. And I'm going to do it because I want to, and I think I can. And there's nothing wrong with that, being positive and being confident. Nothing wrong with that. But you also got to be very careful that when I say those kind of things, I make those kind of statements, that I'm not infringing on anyone else's territory. I'm not hurting anybody else. I'm not taking something from someone just so I can have it for me. I got to make sure I'm making my own path, and that's where the mistakes come in over time in life. You made choices based on self. You make choices based on self sometimes, and sometimes you people around you, you hurt them sometimes, and they retaliate too. Because they're like, who are you? To tell me what to do or how to live. So you be careful with that. Look at, I think self-inventory is the best inventory. Check yourself out, check yourself out. What am I doing? Every day, my daily inventory. What kind of person was I today, at the end of the day? What kind of thinking have I had today? What kind of attitude do I put out today? What kind of energy am I giving off today? Did I hurt someone's feelings today? Did I step on somebody's toes today? Did I do something with a hidden motive today? People hide good motives behind bad motives behind good ones. That thing where I was just trying to help her when I said that. I just thought she might need to know, because I feel a little more superior, so I'm going to put the motives and say, well, I was just trying to tell her. She didn't seem to know what she was doing, so I was just going to tell her. But sometimes I have to be real careful that my motives are clear. And that's for me. I have a higher power. I have a God of my understanding. His name is Jehovah. And I go before God with this inventory and ask God to show me anything that I'm not able to see. Because sometimes we can't see our own self. That's where feedback comes in. And you can get feedback in so many ways. People can give you feedback. Situations can give you feedback. Consequences sure can give you feedback. And the Bible can give you feedback. But you got to have some feedback, because you can't just figure it all up in your head. Because when you go around your head, it's just spinning around. If I thought it over here, it's going to come over here, and I'm going to just spin it around and say, yep, that's it. Got it. But sometimes when you get the feedback, you get where someone say, wait a minute, what did you say? Are you sure about that? What do you think about that? Why would you say that? Do you think like that? And then you have to say, well, wait a minute. Let me see. Why did I say that? Let me justify my answer. Am I rationalizing? Am I trying to make it be something that is not? It's so good to get positive feedback. And that's different from getting criticized. Nobody likes criticism. Nobody likes to be told you don't know what you're doing or whatever. And there's a loving way to give people props. It's a loving way to talk to people. And that's what we have to learn, And I just want to say, made me think about that. This climate that we're in today, whew, is so hateful and charged. And, I remember I kind of was one of those people that grew up in the era, like, where's the love? Love, not war. Let's just, and only love can conquer hate. And those are the kind of slogans that I had in my heart, that, what the world needs now is love, more love, those kind of things. And guess what, people, it's still true. It ain't changed. I didn't invent it. And it hasn't changed. It's still true. We need love. We need to learn how to care about something other than our own. That's what I was talking about in the beginning. Like, not even just being part of a worldwide community that cares about each other. Now, I don't have to know you, be all up in your business, but I care that you're getting the basics that you need in life, that we getting some equality. I didn't say equal. I said equality. And because having equal depends on circumstances, I'm not going to qualify for something that somebody that a doctor qualifies for. That we can have equal, but we can have equality. We can have that level of equality, and that equality comes from being able to recognize that you have a right and I have a right, and we are both on this earth with our own innate given rights, and that's the right to food, clothing, shelter, and the pursuit, as they say, the pursuit of happiness. What that might mean to you, we got a built-in right for that. A built-in right for that. And we have to remember that, and we have to utilize that when we're dealing with people. And so that's how true love is built. Is love for my fellow man, because I know that you deserve the same kind of happiness, the same thing I do. You deserve to eat just like I deserve to eat. You deserve a place to lay your head, a warm bed. You deserve a roof over your head. You deserve an opportunity just like I do. Now, we ain't talking about a privilege, we're talking about an opportunity. We're talking about things that I can get and you can get, and we all should be able to have the same access to those things. Is what I'm talking about, the access to those things. Just very interesting, isn't it? Life is something. Life can take you there. It can play games. But be real with yourself. That's my advice today. You know, be real with yourself. How are you faring with this COVID-19? Have you let your guard down a little bit? I'm being honest with myself. Have I kind of started out gung ho? Whoa, I gotta get these hands up, and then kind of like, okay, I mean the mask. I'll get it. No, 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 no. We gotta maintain a level of vigilance like never before. And the problem is sustained vigilance. It's not like I can be vigilant in short spurts. I can be strong in immediate circumstances and let's get it and get it done and get it over with. But Lord have mercy, stretch it out too long. I'm tired. Lord, is this gonna ever end? Oh, I'm so sick of this mask. Oh Lord, I gotta wash my hands again. Didn't I just wash my hands? See, all that kind of stuff starts to play into my mind. It's like, oh, it ain't came this way yet, so I'm okay. I'm gonna take a little bit of a chance. I'm gonna take a little bit of a risk. Ain't no such thing, folks, as a little bit of risk with this COVID-19. It's just not. What you're gonna get is a little bit being exposed to something that could kill you. Could kill you. It could kill me. That I'm clear about. I have some underlying things going on, a history of some things that I can't take the chance. I just can't play with you and play with it like that. I can't be somewhere where everybody just said, I ain't gonna wear no mask. I can't be in the gathering 20 to 30,000 people in there and hook all swashed up together. When I go to the grocery store, I gotta make sure that people keep it social distances. I can't afford for you to sneeze at me and say, oops, excuse me. It's more than excuse me. Lord have mercy, my life on the line now. This food done sneezed on me. So I can't play that game. My life. And yours too, I hope, is way more precious than that. So, anyway, just want to give a shout out. A shout out to just first into the whole world and saying, hang in there, folks. We're going to get this. We're going to beat this. We just got to be patient. We got to be vigilant. And we got to have some faith, and we got to help each other with this, because I get weak and it gets hard for me and I need some uplifting. So, that's one reason I want to do the Chronicles, kind of uplift, that it's going to be all right. Everything, when it got a beginning, believe me, it got an ending. We just don't know when yet, but it's going to come to an end. So hold on and hang in there. That's the first message. But I want to shout out to some of my friends, all my family, my children, grandchildren, and greats, all those that are in Seattle. I'm definitely got you all in my prayers with those wildfires in California, Washington, Oregon, and that air quality for you all has been horrendous. It's been bad, and I know you appreciate it much. It's hard to say, wishing some rain in Seattle because that something don't even sound right. But I know y'all wanted some rain in Seattle. I ain't never heard Seattleites ask for no rain, but y'all was asking for rain, and that was a blessing because it cleared the air a little bit and allowed people to be able to breathe a little bit easier. So kudos to that. So my children and grandchildren, I love you all, and stay strong, stay safe. Even though I'm not there to direct the show and tell you what to do, just do what you know is right and what you've been taught about right and wrong. Y'all know right from wrong. Nobody had to tell you. You know what's good and what's not. And then to my friends here in Georgia, in Atlanta. I'm over here in Ellenwood, Georgia, so I just want to say shout out to everybody. I'm in the ATL. We're first day of fall and really nice out there today. It was very nice. I stepped out the door just for a bit, but it's very nice and I'm glad to be alive and among the living today. So if you're down in the dumps, lift your head up. You can't see nothing looking down. Look up. look up and know that this is a good day, and you're okay. You're better than you think you are. You're doing better. You're doing 100 with the brakes on. So just hold on to the hope, and it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. I'm a believer. I'm a believer. So with that, I'm gonna end this Chronicles. But I want to say, hey, if you guys like the Bathroom Chronicles, give me a holler. Let me know, and I will keep it coming. I'm gonna try to move this to YouTube, but I gotta get some people to follow me a little bit more. So how about it? Okay, till next time. Love, peace, and some hair grease.